Good morning, SEC. I tell you what have we missed the last couple of days here? I'm down here in the workout facility of the Auburn Tigers. Oh, let me give everybody a minute to get in here. Let's see what kind of crazy crowd we got rolling in this morning. Whoa, there's old Skelton. Come on, cuz. Tennessee Legend Distillery, welcome to the family. Got some big news for you here in a minute. All right, I think everybody has rolled in. Before we get started, I want to remind the cousins we are brought to you by my bookie. This is a multi-year deal that we've done with these guys. Appreciate everybody piling in. My bookie, right now, if you jump on promo code SEC, they will match 100% your deposit. Now's the time to get the bets in. I'm telling you right now, if you're feeling good about the over-unders, if you're feeling good about a specific matchup, they got the spread on already, now's the time to do it, because after camp, you better believe that them lines are going to be shifting pretty damn quick. We also, this is big news, man. You know me. I love alcohol. I absolutely love these guys right here. I came across, there was a paint and sip thing. Long story short, and I'm going to get into it, but this is a long-lasting relationship we're going to have. Tennessee, we officially have a whiskey. We're off the market, if you will. Tennessee Legend Distillery is our new sponsor, and I wanted to give them a shout out here. Let me see here. I'm so terrible with graphics. I should have practiced a little more this morning. Mike got me one of these things here. Tennessee Legend Distillery official today. If you're unfamiliar with this company, this is one of the best Tennessee whiskey locations that you can find. We got two in Sevierville. So if you're going up to Dollywood, if you're going up to the Smoky Mountains, this is one of the first places you need to stop off. They've also got a Nashville location. All kinds of deals for the cousins, and that's what I wanted to stress here. If you do pop in there for a tasting and you're getting a couple of bottles, not only do you get your typical discounts, which I believe is 10% off 2 bottles, 15% off if you're military, but you also get an additional 5% if you mention that you're a cousin, and a free gift. Come on, Tennessee Legend gonna be hooking you up. We're gonna have a lot more details on this on our Sunday show, but absolutely check out these guys. You will not be disappointed. The Lane Train is here, baby. Been a while since we heard that one, so let's jump into it, man. I'm telling you, some coaches are ready for camp, some aren't. Arizona State, Kenny Dillingham off Devil's Digest video here. I don't know if they're completely ready for Mississippi State early in this season.
Yeah, we got to be better. I mean, like I said, our offense in general, too many drops on offense as a group. It was a bad day. I mean, it was a really, really bad day on offense. And it all stems from passion we play with. Is it okay to not make a play? And if you accept it, then you accept it. And that's who you're going to be. Don't be mad going 5-7. It's okay. Don't be mad going 6-6. Don't be mad going 3-9, because somebody has to go those records. There's going to be tons of teams who do it. Why not us? We didn't practice bad. What I mean by that is, like, we didn't bust. We didn't MA. We threw one pick. Like, we didn't practice bad. We didn't practice with passion. We didn't care if we scored a touchdown. We didn't care if there was an interception, right? We didn't care if somebody made a great play for most of practice. We were just out here practicing. And to me, the best teams, it matters all the time. You want to win everything. And today we didn't have that mindset. We didn't want to win. We wanted to practice. And those are two different mindsets to me. You right? Good practice of complacency. It was a good practice for a bad team. It was an average practice for an average team. That's what today was.
Life comes at you fast when you got higher expectations, doesn't it? Oh, man. I want to give Cousin JR a shout out. Thank you, Cousin JR. He has blessed somebody with the membership. Let me get up here. JR, Chris Whitted. Chris, welcome to the family. Not to be outdone, got our new sponsor in here, Tennessee Legend Distillery, hitting out 5 new cousin memberships. Let me give those guys a shout out. Jordan Ashford, Evan Grimes, Jeffrey Roberts, Aaron Morgan, Naz Main. You have all been gifted by Tennessee Legend Distillery. Welcome to the family. Oh my gosh. And I give Kenny a hard time. All the coaches were a little on edge when it came to the opening conference here. Even longtime Kelly, Brian Kelly down there in LSU.
So let's start with, there were so many brilliant performances out there. I'd like to point out 17 of them. Let's not go there, okay? It's the first day. We were out there for an hour. Essentially, just so you know where we're at, see this card? This card's got numbers on it, jersey numbers. I'm trying to figure out who's got what jersey on, okay? So you can imagine where I'm at after day one. So having said that, let's have a conversation that bears that in mind. Let's go.
They're all a little fired up right now, ain't they? Oh, my gosh. I'd love to say that was the craziest thing I heard from the coaches this week. But given the background, you know exactly where I'm going. Coach Freeze, keep being yourself, Coach.
I don't really get hung up on the running back's weight, but it is good that you have some that have some girth to them. But there's no doubt you need length and girth in this league.
You need it, man. I told everybody the other day this is probably should be our new name. Mike being length, me being girth. I think it would be absolutely perfect. Maybe that's what we can go for this Halloween. But I did want to give out Cousin Will a shout out, and I appreciate everybody, man. I get tagged online and some of the dumbest stuff and some of the funniest stuff. This came from Cousin Will out of huge state fan, Mississippi State fan. I'm not quite sure why he tagged me in this, but maybe tag's not the right word. Yeah, I don't never got the reference there. I mean, he's going through a gauntlet. But I will say the memes that have spun off the Ole Miss the media team is getting a little out of hand. But let's jump into it. All right. So you guys are here not to hear me crack jokes. Well, maybe a little bit, but it's more to talk about football. And there's some things that are going on right now. A little separation, you know. I think after some of these coaches talk, you feel a little bit better about your football team. You feel a little worse. But you know, I gave Coach Kelly a hard time, but I gotta be honest with you, man. Some of the comments he made got me a little more excited about LSU. LSU's been kind of that dark horse, you know. When we go out here and we talk about who's going to the college football playoff, who's potentially winning national championships, you hear Georgia, you hear Texas. LSU, I've heard more and more, especially leaning into media days. But I want to jump in. Coach Kelly had some interesting comments, and one of the main reasons that I think LSU could be special is the fact Garrett Nussmeier stuck around, but the weapons that are with him. Coach Kelly can barely hold back excitement here.
NBC 33 here in Baton Rouge. This wide receiving core, I don't feel like it's gotten a ton of attention, especially from the veterans that you return, the younger guys and the transfers. Do you feel like they've had enough attention or have kind of the hype that should be surrounding them?
I mean, we're too deep in a swing, maybe 2 swings in terms of, you know, I'm talking about 8 receivers. You know, we have 8 SEC high caliber receivers. These guys are really good football players. And so it's incumbent upon us to put them in a position to succeed for themselves and for our team. I think that's the biggest management right now is doing that. And then being smart, right? And when you have that kind of depth, you can lessen the player load for these guys across the board and keep them fresh. And so what we've told them is it's 1A, 1B. I mean, and we're going to be rolling guys in and out, but I would be less than honest if I didn't say it's as deep as I've ever had. Now we got to go play.
We talk RBUs, we talk wide receiver U's, DBUs. I mean, it's tough to argue that LSU has not got the crown right now with all the talent they've got in the NFL. But stemming off that 2019 season, I mean, those guys, that room was absolutely loaded, but it just seems like LSU just finds talent over and over again. And I feel like when you're looking at who has the best wide receiver room in this country, there's some dudes, man. I mean, Georgia's got a shit ton of talent. Alabama's arguably got the best receiver in the country. You look at just down the street, Auburn, behind us here. You got Coleman, you got Singleton. Those guys are phenomenal. But who is deeper than LSU right now at the receiver room?
Well, what do you think you have in place, maybe with the vertical passing game, to unlock more of that part of your offense? Do you like the state of where that is with your offense? Well,
I mean, we've got guys that can run. Chris Hilton is healthy. He's had a great offseason. You saw him at media day at his chattiest. I mean, that was a new form for Chris. I was proud of him, the way he stepped outside his comfort zone. So there is a carryover, right? When you are handling yourself that way and you've never been that way, you become more assertive as a player. He's much more assertive as a player as well. It's a great, obviously mirroring of who he is. And then Barry and Brown. I mean, you've got two guys that can play that X position that can run past anybody, whether it's a go, a post, a dig, and that is an incredible weapon. And it allows us, as I said earlier, is to lower their player load. They're A and B, right? They're going to get a lot of touches and a lot of snaps. And then you add Aaron Anderson, who's the ultimate playmaker. We have to be careful with all of our players, but we want to keep Aaron ready for Saturdays too. And so you got Kyle Parker, who I am really high on, and I think he's going to have an incredible year. But now you can add Kyle Parker to the slot, and then into the boundary you got Xavion, you've got Nick Anderson, you've got some depth there. But the real deal here is that we're going to get over the top of a lot of defenses with those two guys.
I mean, look at this room. He mentioned, I guess the only one I didn't put in here, and I probably should have, was Kyle Parker. But, Aaron Anderson, 1,000-yard receiver, number one back here, is an absolute dog. And, I feel like he is one of those guys that at the end of the year could be the best receiver statistically, especially because Lord knows Garrett Nussmeier is going to be throwing the damn football here. But you pair it with just some absolute freaks. And I think that's one of the most exciting parts about LSU's receiver room is just, we've had a banged up Chris Hilton, so we've not got to see him. But he is just an unreal athlete. One of the wildest looking tight ends in the country is Tre'Davious Green. And this is a guy that potentially, I want to say he's like 6'7". I mean, he's a massive individual. He is very, very tough to guard. And now they hit the portal. They go up here, they grab Nick Anderson. Oklahoma, obviously another injury situation, but was expecting him to have a massive, massive season last year. Barryon Brown, you guys know I absolutely love this guy. One of the fastest, most versatile players in the country. Not only is he going to help on special teams, but good luck guarding him. Kentucky, there was 2 receivers to keep an eye on. Now he's one of 8 to keep an eye on. Destin Hill from Florida State. Then you go out here and you grab 2 more tight ends, Donovan Green and Bauer Sharp. This is an absolutely loaded room, top to bottom. And I'm not just here to kiss LSU's ass, but I'm just, I think we have to sit at the end of the day when you got a quarterback like Garrett Nussmeier that threw for 4,000 yards and you add those additional weapons. Maybe you're I'm not telling you who to put your money on for the Heisman, but you can make a strong case that he resides in the state of Louisiana. All right. Enough LSU. What else we got going around here? One thing I did want to throw out, I'm not going to spend much time because we talked about him at nauseum, but DJ Lagway, we did get an update from Zach down there. He's out of the boot now. He's moving around, good at practice. This isn't a major injury. I anticipate him being out there when the Gators open the season. So we talked about this yesterday on the show. It's tough for me to just speculate he's going to be out there. I mean, the kid was just in a boot, and we're like, hey, 3.5 weeks, he'll be ready to roll. Let's see. DJ Saga is going to be drug out and talked about, like I said, till kickoff, till the season is over. But I really hope that this is a good sign. I do hope that he's able to move forward here. All right, big guys. Coaches, Sark got him late this week. Georgia, it's like these guys came out at the very end here, but football's in the air when you have a grown man breaking wheel.
Going back to the offensive line, lost several veterans from last year's team. What do you need to see from that offensive line room over this next month?
I think them play with a chip on their shoulder. We talk about playing with an edge. Passion, fire, energy, right? PFE is one of the things we're looking for. No greater position that you possess passion, fire, and energy than O-line. There is something about breaking someone's will or saying I have to move you from point A to point B, and movement is exactly that. Movement is what creates run game.
Breaking another man's will. That's the Kirby Smart we all know. And I wanted to get to some of the comments I missed here earlier. Clint, Coach Kelly's first set of comments just told me them Tigers are going to lose again week 1. Oh, you're probably right, man. I know. Maybe I shouldn't be hyping them up because it'll be even worse when they stumble out of the gates. Clint also sent another donation. I appreciate you, cuz, for doing that. Having all the talent in the nation is one thing, but actually getting that production is another. Case in point, 2021 Aggie recruiting class. Great point. I mean, I'm just letting you know that I'm starting to fall in love with this wide receiver room. I mean, it's that simple, but they still have to do something with it. And when we talk about Heisman and we talk about returning quarterbacks, we go to Arch Manning, we go to Lenore Sellers, we go to DJ Lagway. Garrett Nussmeier is not – it's crazy to me, 4,000 yards. I still don't feel like he gets enough respect. But for me, it's just like – okay, I'm a chef and I've now got even more ingredients to work with. I'm going to whip up a pretty nice meal. That's kind of what it feels like. But again, you got to put it all together. And for me, it does stem off week 1. Week 1's the launch pad for Nuss. I mean, if he's going to make the Heisman, people are going to remember exactly what happened week 1. So I think it is pivotal that he jumps off to a big start. And I'm sorry about the shaking. I'll work on that. Kirby talks about youth. And that's another thing we talked about on the show last night was, these teams, because of the portal, because of, young kids actually having to perform quicker, like they didn't have to when I was younger. It's a different era, and Kirby kind of hits on the age of the Georgia Bulldogs.
What is most important for those young guys to be working on during this part of the year in fall camp?
Mindset. It's the only thing they can work on because they're going to be overwhelmed by the speed, the tempo of practice. Can I fail and can I pick up and go again? And it's been seen over and over again. These NFL guys come in, how does he learn? How does he learn? How does he learn? And I'm like, well, they come from our program, they're going to learn well. They've had to learn well. But can they overcome failure and adversity? And so many of them come in with, because of social media, heavy accolades, heavy expectations, and the drop from how high they come in to where they fall to when they fail is so deep in depth that it's really hard to build them back. So we have to be really careful as coaches that we're make sure we point out when they do things right, and make sure we explain to them that it's okay to fail. You actually grow through that failure, and a lot of our guys are starting to realize that.
And I know that has to be a tough pill to swallow for Kirby Smart. Kirby like nothing, just chew their ass out, tell them to get out there, kind of like they did it back when he was playing at Georgia. But he's right; it's a different era, and I'm not going to get all papaw here on you, but these kids, I mean, it's different than, we'll say, when Kirby was there. All right, so you make the team, you're practicing, coach gets on you. There's nowhere else to go. You can go back to your room. You could, you can go to the cafeteria, whatever. You could pout all you want, but guess what? Your ass is going to be at camp the next day. Now it's a little bit different. It's, if you get on one of these kids, because right now they've been told their entire life how great they are at a certain sport. And they're at their high school. Everybody's just pumped up, excited. They signed for the University of Georgia, and again, told they're great. Got an agent in the ear. Oh man, you're awesome. You're worth this. The kids, the parents are. Oh, you're great. You're worth this. Then you go to Georgia, surrounded by other athletes that are just like you. And when I say just like you, just as talented. They all came from a small town hearing the same shit. So then when you get hit with that reality that you have to put more work and effort into this, some of these kids aren't ready because they've been already told they've made it. When they haven't, the next 2-3 years that they're at the University of Georgia, that's what's going to galvanize them and get them to the next round. But still, it's an uphill battle, and you have to be careful with emotions. And because now they can go back and they say, hey, man, I can get you another $1 million in a starting spot if you go here. That's what they hear. So the coaches, it's a fine line, and I don't feel bad for any of them. I'm going to be crystal clear. They make too much money for me to feel sad for them. But coaching has changed, and you kind of hear it with Kirby. Kirby's one of many that talks about the emotions of these young kids. Now, this isn't a young kid. This is a grown-ass man. This is Oscar Delp coming out here telling us why Gunner is our quarterback.
Yeah, you're someone who's obviously close with Gunner. How have you seen him approach this offseason, and how has that maybe differed, if at all, from past years where he has a clear potential starting opportunity in front of him?
Yeah, I've lived with Gunner for 4 years, and he's been preparing like he's a starting quarterback for 4 years. So there's no one I trust more than Gunner. Seeing what he does at home, on and off the field. Last year everyone was so surprised when he went in the Texas game and killed it, but he could have won 4 games before that. He would have done the same thing. He's prepared like the starter for 4 years, and he's going to continue to do that.
That's my quarterback. Speaking of quarterbacks, DeAndre Moore he sold some news here, talking about Quinn Ewers and Arch Manning. See if you can figure out which quarterback DeAndre Moore's talking about.
What are the differences you notice between Quinn Ewers and Arch Manning thus far?
One had baby wheels and one has super wheels.
Which one's which then?
Oh, you know.
Oh, shit. Oh, I think we know exactly who he's talking about. Arch is, if you've been under a rock and you haven't seen, Arch Manning is actually the fastest Manning I've ever seen in my entire life. I'll not forget the infamous Peyton Manning bootleg. Not fast. Deceiving, but not fast. Arch Manning, totally different. All right. Sorry I wasn't able to get to the calls today, but don't forget we got a hotline that you guys can hit up. It's in the show notes. I've got also, I want to bring to your attention, Poncho Outdoors is sponsoring the show. You want to look cool. Do you go to a family event or something, and everybody's like, Shane, you're always wearing that same Nautica shirt? Well, you can fix that. Get something from Poncho Outdoors. Type in just like it is, PonchoOutdoors.com /SEC. Get $10 off. That's how you do it. Free shipping. I got my order coming in here in the next day or so, so I'm probably going to be the coolest kid at the family reunion. But you want to be cool, check out these shirts. They're really cool. I don't know how many more times I can say cool, because that's I want to be the cool dad. You know, and you got to do that when you got to have the poncho shirt. All right, last but not least, I want to bring up an awesome interview. A lot of people don't know about the Faison situation in Columbia, South Carolina. Long story short, this is a kid that has applied for another year to play college football. Pavia, you probably heard the Pavia rule. This is a guy that got an additional time because he played, prior to Division I football. So when you got JUCO, 2 years, you can gain a year. The problem that Soul's having is it's got a 5-year cap, and he's 25 years old. He is older, but the early seasons with COVID and everything, he kind of got gray-shirted, missed a few years. So it's long story short, it's just been dragging out way too long. And if you're an outside looking in, you that's what you see. You see the age, you see the opportunities, and it's you probably don't feel as bad. But listening to this interview on As I Sip My Coffee, and I want to shout out to Brian from Tennessee Legend, tagged me on this one. Appreciate you, cousin. This was an awesome interview, but you got to see him as a person and what he's gone through. And I hate that we penalized him for early years mistakes that he's made. This can be a massive year for him and his family. But I took a couple clips here from this interview, and I want you to just, after you see it, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Do you ever get to go back home and kind of do anything, in your neighborhood where you're from?
Yeah, so this week I'm going home for the first time in a while, and I'm having a youth camp. Wow. So get to give back to the kids a little bit. But I've been wanting to do something like this for a while, so I'm super excited. Yeah. And then really just show the kids me growing up, I always I had a lot of people incarcerated, close people going to jail, going to prison, things like that. And just going down the wrong path. So I knew I had a bunch of examples of things I didn't want to be like. You know what I'm saying? Like me growing up, I didn't really have too many role models. It was I don't want to be like that. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to show the kids if I could do it, they could do it for sure,
I wish this happens for you.
For sure.
But how is this impacting you daily? I know you say you don't think about it, but I'm human.
For sure.
You're human.
Yeah.
You can't say it don't impact you daily, but not thinking about it, that's a good way. But on your daily walk, is there any type of thing you do to just keep you away from it?
Yeah, really being with my teammates and my coaches and stuff, cause it just make me feel like it's going to go right.
Yeah.
When I go into the building, I'm working out, meetings, you know what I'm saying? PRPs, walkthroughs, all that. So just being around them and make me just feel like I'm getting ready for a game in a couple weeks. You know what I'm saying? So getting ready for fall camp next week. So I'm not it don't really weigh on me too much, but I know if I do get this opportunity to play, how much it could change things for my life. So I just pray the NCAA do right by me and I get this opportunity for sure.
And I do too, my friend. And one of the reasons is this is a money year. I mean, I'm just calling it like it is from his camp. It just feels like this was the opportunity to set him up for the NFL draft. Now, he'll still have a shot. If he doesn't play, he'll still be able to stick around the facilities. He'll still be able to work out. Right now, he's in practice, but it's just NCAA's dragging their feet with an answer here, and camp's already started. So it would be one thing if this was the first situation that they're looking for approval. They've approved several of these. So I just kind of hate it for him because again, this is a money year. This is an opportunity. So, but speaking of money, it's Friday, it's payday. Oh, we made it, haven't we? We've got a wonderful weekend in front of us. Only a couple more weekends without college football. We had NFL football last night. I hope everybody enjoyed that. It was nice to see some tackle football on my TV, but SEC football will be returning less than 30 days from now. So be sure to have fun. Be safe this weekend. Anything crazy happens, be sure to tag me. Let me know so we can bring it up next Monday. But I hope you guys all have a wonderful weekend. Drink some cold beer for me. All right. See you guys.
Hey, buddy. This beer's for you, Mike, and Cousin Shane. That SEC podcast loves the Pirate, and the Pirate loves that SEC podcast. Hail State.